All right. Welcome back. My name is Moses Andre,
My name's Doche Louis.
and we are the hosts of the Value Menu podcast, where value is served to you at no cost. And we have a special guest with us today, man. Heavy hitter in the industry. Give us a little, introduction.
Yeah, well, my name is Mardochee Louis. I am the owner and founder of MGL Consulting Group, which is an accounting firm based out of northern New Jersey in Essex County. So we're headquartered in Orange. I've been in business we've been in business for 8 years. I've been an accountant for a total of 13 years. I worked in a variety of industries, including auditing, at a Big Four accounting firm. I work for a mid-sized accounting firm. Also worked in private equity, asset-based lending. Also was an accounting manager for a bit of a time. I did a lot so I can kind of like walk through all the companies and all that, all the journey, but there's a lot high-level perspective, background about me. And right now I'm a tax specialist, so I specialize in tax preparation, tax planning, bookkeeping, accounting, and I also provide CFO services.
Yo, so you seasoned, man.
Yeah, I'm a vet. Yeah, I'm a vet. When it comes to accounting, I've done a lot of stuff, and when it comes to accounting, a lot of people they'll like kind of like work in one industry and specialize in that industry, or like they work for one company for like maybe 5 to 10 years. Me, I was kind of always open-minded.
Yeah.
I kind of always want to try different things. Sometimes things happened, right? Like layoffs happen, just due to business. They just do layoffs, and some people think layoffs are a bad thing, but sometimes a layoff could be a good thing because now you have a whole other opportunity. Because every time I got laid off, it was always a greater opportunity ahead. Or sometimes it was me that I just chose to move on. Because I just felt like I was whatever situation it was, I just needed more growth. I felt like I needed a bigger title or whatever the case is. So every move I made from a corporate perspective, for the 11 years I was in corporate, every move was strategic. And honestly, looking back at it now, I didn't know what was gonna happen, but like honestly, everything worked out for a reason. Because I started my firm in 2017 while I was still in corporate, right? So, after I left, I was working for Ernst & Young.
Yeah.
I started my career at Ernst & Young. I actually started my career at Deloitte. I was an intern with Deloitte for 2 years. I was an Inroads intern. So Inroads is a non-for-profit organization that helps minorities get scholarships. And I had a 3.9 as a freshman, coming out of Rutgers Newark. So with that 3.9 and being a black male 3.9 student, it kind of gave me an opportunity to put myself out there. And I actually got offered as a sophomore. I got offered from 3 of the Big Four accounting firms. I got offered from KPMG.
Sheesh.
Yep, KPMG, EY, and Deloitte all gave me offers as a sophomore, which is kind of unheard of because if you kind of like ask other accountants, other people that are in the field, Big Four accountants, how many of them got offers as a sophomore from a Big Four accounting firm, it's like there were others, but it's really slim. It was really, and I would say that it was a combination of a couple things. Me being a good student, right? And also networking, right? Just knowing who's who. And my mentor told me to apply to Inroads, and Inroads got me into Deloitte. So that's why I started with Deloitte. And I chose Deloitte because they were giving me audit right away. The other 2 firms, they were trying to, give me like, they weren't giving me like professional services right away. They were trying to give me a warm-up internship, like in HR, operations, get to know the firm, right? But it wasn't really like a nitty-gritty audit. Deloitte was giving me that off rip.
Dope.
So they gave me that, and actually my first client was New Jersey Resources, which it was like the PSCNG down in the Jersey Shore area.
Yeah.
So that was my first client as an audit intern.
Dope.
Yeah.
Definitely was gonna ask you about who you are as a person, get more personal.
Yeah.
You touched on a couple things already. I did want to ask you, right? Even prior to that, to your college days, how did you kind of find your path, one? And then two, what made you different as far as like locking in? Like, how did you know that, all right, this is what I want to lock in on, like 110%?
Yeah, I say, I mean, it really starts with my mother, 100%. Growing up, single mom household, Haitian household, very strict, no nonsense. And she, she let it be known early, like, your dad's not around. It's just me and you. I need you to be locked down. I need you to be focused. I need you to get a job by this time. I need you to, I need you to perform well in school. I need you to do this. I need to do that. So I kind of I always wanted to make my mother proud. So I was like, you know what? It starts with that. So that's what made me lock in. And the second thing is, another thing I give to my mother is my mother is always good at budgeting. I always see my mom always writing down in her notebook, writing stuff down. So I kind of gravitated towards that because she was so good at money management. And I was always good at math. And no other really topic to me that's math related really appealed to me other than business. And accounting is such a valuable piece to business that it was a no-brainer for me. And I took a class in high school. I took it for 2 years, junior and senior year. I got A's in it. And I just never looked back. Ever since I was 16, 17 years old, I decided I wanted to be an accountant. And I never looked back. Yeah, I'm 35 years old now. 34, soon to be 35. So that's almost 20 years ago. So.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man.
I was going to say, right, you spoke on accounting being important part of business.
Right.
Why do you say that, and when did you realize that?
Well, I probably would say I realized that young, like an early age, because they said that accounting is it was the language of business, right? They always said that, and and everybody thought accounting was so hard, and there was such an emphasis on it. So to me, it was always like intuitive to me that it was very important. I would say when I hit, when I got to the Big Four, when I became to like my second, third year as a professional, I started to understand a little bit better the importance of accounting because, you have to track your performance. A lot of businesses, it's really hard for them to evaluate the performance if you're not tracking it. And also you have to know how to interpret the information that you're tracking, and accounting allows you to do that. Also it allows you to predict the future as well, because if you have good data from the past, you should be able to predict the future, especially if you have historical trends, and you can if there's some things that you plan to do in the future as well, you can make some assumptions as well. So it's very tough to do that type of work without accounting. Also, when it comes to your banking, your funding, it's going to be almost impossible to get funding without having accounting. You need to keep track of your records to apply for business loans. If you want to go public, you got to trade stocks on the stock exchange and all that type of stuff. You have to, have good books and records, So lines of credit, everything comes back to your books and records.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You said a lot of good things, especially with the motherhood and the discipline. Shout out to the moms too.
Yeah.
But what challenges did you encounter and face breaking into the field?
Like what? The field of accounting.
The field of accounting.
Would you say in respect to having a single mom? Would you say? Or just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general.
Yeah, like just the industry. Did you face any challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like educationally, you know what I mean? Just making sure you're staying sharp from an education standpoint. Also, I mean, me, I think I'm a special case in the sense of my challenge was juggling being an entrepreneur and having a corporate job at the same time. You gotta understand, like I'm a person that I was doing 300 returns my last year of corporate. Like my last year working in corporate, my 11th year, before I chose to go entrepreneurship, I'm doing 300 tax returns on my own, and have a job, and not to mention I'm a referee too. So guys know me as a referee. I was a referee for 8 years. I did men's leagues, AAU,
And you got your own league that we gonna touch
And
on.
Slim B's, yeah, I was doing Slim B's,
Wow.
which is almost 10 years old. Slim B's is almost 10 years old. So I got Slim B's. I'm doing Slim B's. I'm a referee on the weekends on the side. During tax season, I got 300 tax returns I'm doing. And not only that, you got to maintain those relationships, right? And I have a job. Like, I'm a manager at Prudential. I'm an accounting manager at Prudential. Like I'm not doing like any just old rinky-dink job. Like a lot of people can't even get these jobs. A lot of people can't even get in. I got this and a business and I'm a ref, which is like it's kind of like people got so used to me doing this stuff that it just became normal.
Yeah.
Like, but if you think about it,
the ceiling is high for you.
Well, yeah, but like even when a lot of people that see me like when I go so hard in my business, it's like, well, I'm a retired referee. I don't have a corporate job anymore, so I kind of have my full energy to put myself into the business. I could be as creative as I want. I could do stuff like this. I could be a public speaker. You know, I could create social media content. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I can go to as many conferences as I want. Like, you know, it's like, you know, because like this year is a big change up in the 2025 taxes. Right, so right now I'm making sure that I'm doing my due diligence.
Make sure you're aware of all the changes.
100%, man. There's a lot of changes this year, you know, and you know a lot of people are sleeping on it, but tax time is gonna come soon. Yeah. And a lot of the tax laws not even finalized yet. Like they're gonna finalize it by the end of the year. Yeah. But some of the stuff came out already, you know. So I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna be. I'm like my field, my industry, people in my field, myself, we're gonna be very very sought after, you know.
So you said that you're from Jersey.
Yeah, 100% right. Jersey.
How would you say your environment, right, growing up in Jersey, kind of affected your hustle? Like,
yeah, in Jersey, man, we go get it. We're like gritty. We're gritty people. You know, we're hardworking people. There's a lot of Caribbean people on this side, so I'm Caribbean. So a lot of Caribbeans, we kind of like, that's where we align a lot of our camaraderie. Jamaicans, Trinidadians, you know, all types of people, Haitians. We get along because, you know, we got that grit, we got that hard work. And then on top of that, you know, I grew up playing basketball my whole life.
Yep.
My whole life, man. And I done seen so many amazing basketball stories, man. You got guys like Jesse Jones, great story. Guys like Josh Trevor, great story. And just to see these guys, amazing stories, and there's so many other guys as well too that so many other names, and just me just being a part of that, seeing that culture, seeing that basketball culture, seeing that every day, you know, like, you know, your bounce was like this, and then you can get it like this, you know what I mean? Your body was a certain way, and you got it to a certain way, you got the ball handling to a certain point, you got the shot to a certain point, and just seeing that progression, to see how it's like if you put in that work, you can get better at something, right? I use that same mentality in my field, right? A guy like Kyrie Irving. I grew up in West Orange. I'm 2009.
Shout out to West Orange.
Kyrie Irving is 1 year younger than me. He was the #1 draft pick in the NBA. He did all of this stuff, and it's like it really hit me like maybe like a couple years ago, like maybe at 30 something, that you don't really realize. I'm like, he really did that at 19? Like,
we talking
you know
about,
what I mean?
He only played 11 games.
That's what I'm saying. And you gotta understand, college, this is exactly, but you gotta understand, this is not just a person that, it's on TV for me. This is a real life tangible person. Like, I still like see his father at the gym at the times, and it's like, it's inspiring. And that, seeing stuff like that and being around people like that, it just motivates. It's just motivating. You know what I mean? And it's almost unconscious. Like, you just get motivated. Like, you just 100%.
Yeah, it rubs off.
Exactly, because these are real life people you know. Like, I really know these people. Yeah. Like, these are people. Like, yeah, like I'll go out of state and somebody say something about, you know, filet, Jesse. Like, I know this guy. You know, I know him. I know Kyrie Irving. Like, these are people that I know, and it's like I said, that base of love of basketball, just knowing that, and knowing that's where that came from, and knowing that they made themselves a certain way, I'm like, I'm making myself that way in accounting. in the field of in the way I can, whether it's public speaking, or being a practitioner, being a teacher. I'm teaching more now, teaching other tax professionals how to, improve their craft and stuff like that. I just want to be the best, professional that I can be, and I get it from, just being from Jersey, it's countless guys.
Hey man, shout out to Jersey.
Yeah, shout out to Jersey. Shout out to Jersey Hoopers, man. The Jersey Hoopers.
You sound very passionate about basketball, right?
100%.
So, tell us more about your basketball tournament, man.
Okay, well, the Slim Bees Classic. Okay, so Slim Bees Classic is something I've been doing for almost 10 years now. Okay, Slim Bees his real name is Sherrod Coleman. We went to West Orange High School, and we were basketball teammates. And he was tragically, involved in some gun violence, lost his life. And
R.I.P., man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, and it's very, very sad story. But I was hosting these basketball tournaments, and I named the tournaments after him. Once I named it the first year, it was a great turnout. In 2015, he actually had Isaiah Briscoe pull up. This is when Isaiah Briscoe was a year after he was the number one point guard in the country. He's a freshman at Kentucky, and he's playing in the tournament. Once he does that, once they do that and bring Isaiah Briscoe, it was oh, y'all bringing high level talent here. Every year now, everybody wants to bring better quality talent. We had guys like Asante Gist, who played at Iona. We had Tyson Taylor, who played at Kansas, who ended up getting drafted. My boy Dwayne Morgan plays in France. It's countless West Orange alumni, all the guys that, you got Carlo, Russ, all these guys. Josh Treadwell played just recently. Jesse also played. Eli Carter played this year. So we had some guys really come through there throughout the years. Some really talent, because it's everybody wants to win, and it's we got 8 teams. What we do 8 teams, different crews, right? Different groups, different neighborhoods, East Orange, West Orange, all guys from all over the place. And we do 2 games at one time at 1 o'clock, and then 2 games at 2 o'clock at the same time. The winner of the 1 o'clock games play at 3. The winners of the 2 o'clock games play at 4. Right? Then you got the 3 o'clock game, the 4 o'clock game, 3-point contest. The winner of each of those 3 and 4 play at 5:30. Final. Everybody goes home. It's a great time. Spectators, food, music, DJ. It's a really good community event. Shout out to my event planner, Create That Party. Did a great job for me this year. I got a great staff. Got Halima, Andrew, all these guys, man, all these people, they do a good job for me. For the community, for us. And it's something I'm really proud of. I'm just as proud of that as my accounting career. That's because dope. I do it's like a 1-day program. I don't know anybody else that can do that. To be honest. I don't know anybody else. It's so many people involved. It's about 80 players. You got referees. Of course, I was a former referee. I can get referees. You got people that doing the clock. You got to have vendors, vendor tables, the event planner, the T-shirt. It's operationally. It's a lot. Parts. It's a lot of moving parts. It's its own business. I have its own. Thank God I'm a accountant, because it has its own financial statements that I put together. Mm-hmm. I get sponsors, right? Through my networking, I have to get sponsors, track the sponsorships and all that other stuff. It's a full blown thing. I'm like a real NBA GM, or a low key on my level, because I know so much. I know everything. I'm recruiting players too. Yeah, recruiting players. You gotta understand, it's not easy recruiting players, because now you gotta understand, if guys are signing up individually, I have to find a home for them, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the guys that are a little bit better, it's easier to find a home for them. Yeah. But some guys, they got to work on their skills a little bit. Absolutely. It's harder to pitch them, and you got to put them all on the same team, and then those guys normally get blown out. Oh, you bought. and it's a tough thing. And I tried not, and that's what would happen to me in earlier years. I've gotten better at putting teams together. So now, even this last tournament, everybody was competitive.
Yep.
Every team was competitive. There was not one team that, I couldn't find, but it's a lot of phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
In order to do that, it's a lot of phone calls. People do cancellations. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's literally like, you know, my phone, it's 6 a.m. I'm trying to get a workout in. I'm trying to play guys, you know, basketball. I'm getting texts about the tournament. I can't do it no more. I got this. This, that, the other.
I'm already know. Yeah.
So it's a lot, but I love it though.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot that come with it, but I love it. That's why it's still going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get a lot of love for it. You know, a lot of guys, they appreciate it. You know, so yeah, it's something I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, that's dope. Dope cause, right? Honoring it after somebody.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. A lot of people don't have something like that, so that's definitely something to be proud of for sure.
Yeah, for sure,
bro. A lot of people can't put something like that together because that takes a lot. Deal with the moving parts, headaches, like you said, cancellations. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I want to get into the nitty gritty, right? Because I feel like there's a lot we got to talk about too. So I would say, right, I would say accounting for small businesses, accounting and taxes, right, is one of the most important sectors, or like one of the most important things for small businesses, right? Would you agree on that?
Yes.
Right. So with that being said, what would you say is some of the most common mistakes small businesses make when it comes to accounting and taxes?
I say two things.
Yep.
Easy. Not having a plan is number one. You gotta have a plan. It's just like working out, right?
Yeah.
You know, you go in there, just do upper body every day. Is that a good plan?
No.
Okay. Bad plan. And some people run their business doing upper body every day. Just take that analogy from a business perspective. They're just one-dimensional. They don't even know what they know. They just go ahead. And that is not the way to go, because, you know, you're probably going to need this information at some point. And they look at least the last 2 to 3 years, and you've been doing it your way, the way you want to do it, and now you want to just automatically, you got to wait your time now. You know what I mean? And this goes hand in hand, number two, but I would say it has to be a separate topic, because I'm big on this. It's ignorance, right? You don't know what you don't know, and you need to know what you don't know. You see?
Absolutely.
You need to know what you don't know, but you don't know it. So what are you doing about that? So, like, where do you hang out? Where are you going? Like, so you're a business owner, right? You have to understand business and doing the business is two different things, right? Mm-hmm. You could be good at what you do, right, but not a good business owner, right? Because being a good business owner means that you understand business from a full perspective, right? Right? You understand systems, you understand all the type of stuff, and in business, you definitely need to, like I said, know what you don't know, right? And you need, in my opinion, you need to hang out more in environments that will cultivate that, you know, because the majority of people in this world are employees.
Yes.
Right. So if you decide to say, "Hey, I'm a business owner," you don't want to run your business like an employee. You want to run it like a real business.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Because like if you're just always working, always doing the work, you don't really think about next level, high level stuff, the next thing, what's next, right? It's not a real business. You own a job, you know, so it's a side hustle.
So you own a job. You don't own a business.
You create a job. You create a job for yourself. You own a job. It's not a business. A business is different. Business has systems in place, has people in it, right?
Employees.
Yeah, and even if you can't afford employees, you should have organizational charts set to say, okay, when I do get bigger, I'm gonna have my secretary here, by this person, by this person, by that person. Shoot, even me, like I do a lot of these podcasts, and my org chart, my next thing is getting a manager. I need a manager. I need somebody to be able to manage all these. I went to New Orleans, Orlando. I do a lot of stuff, so, and I want to keep it going. So at the end of the day, if I'm doing jobs, I'm doing stuff, I don't have time to be booking stuff. You know, I need somebody else to be doing that, you know. But at the end of the day, you got to set a budget for it, right? Once you set a budget for it, you create the job description, you start hiring for it, you know. So, and another thing is too, you're doing all this stuff, and there's probably someone that would love to do that. There's somebody, I'm telling you right now, that would love to probably work and book stuff. Oh yeah, they just love it because that's their passion, that's their love. Even a lot of stuff for me when it comes to taxes and accounting, yeah, I charge a fee, but a lot of times I love it so much, I don't even think. I'm like, yeah, I want to get paid for it, but I'm not even get like, yeah, just pay me, give it to me when when you can, or we'll set an auto pay, whatever the case is. I'm so passionate about what I do, you know. Whereas if they were trying to do their own tax return, it's such a nuisance.
Because they don't enjoy it,
yeah. Yeah. If just give it to the word guy that loves taxes.
Why not?
Why not? And I know the stuff. I'm telling you, depreciation recapture. I can give you high level explanations of. I'm an IRS enrolled agent. You know, it's very difficult to pass that test. You know what I mean? I should have brought my flashcards with me. I got 3 big old plastic chests of thousands of flashcards of notes that I've done created. Why wouldn't you let me do your taxes? You know what I mean? As opposed to like, especially if you have challenging stuff, you know. So that's how I see it.
So how would you? Okay, so what's the importance, right, of keeping your business and personal lives separate? I know a lot of people, they tend to like merge the two, especially being new in business, new in entrepreneurship. They tend to like kind of not know the importance of separating, keeping them entities separated, because technically you are 2 identities, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, you want to be able to track the true financial performance of the business and not mix your personal expenses with that. And you won't know how much you're truly spending on the business unless you keep them separate, you know? And also, you should have an allocation, right? And if you're making money, right, you're saying, okay, this portion goes to me as a salary, okay? This portion stays as a profit in the business, meaning like it doesn't go anywhere. For the future, if you ever want to buy a building, do something, you got money in the business to do it, right? Because you've always been saving a portion of it, right? And at the same time too, you should have a budget for your operational expenses. So your operational expenses are expenses you spend on the business, right? You don't just spend money all willy-nilly. You should say, hey, if I made $50,000, I'm only spending maybe 50% of this on my operational expenses. So 25 grand, I gotta make it work. I gotta make my marketing, everything, yada yada, because a portion of this money has to go to my profit.
Absolutely.
Right? And also you have to be realistic where you're starting. If you have a target profit that you want, say, hey, I would like to have 10% profit in my business, but I suck at operational expenses right now. You can expect to be at 10% today. Maybe you be at 1% today. Next month, go for 2. Then you go for 3. Then you go for 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth, until you get to that 10%. You can't go to 10% because what happens is you're going to over allocate. You can't do that. You're nowhere near that. You know what I mean? So that's where it goes, that plan. Yeah. Right? That goes to that plan, and then the ignorance.
Absolutely.
Right? You're going into your finances ignorantly. Oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that.
Yeah. I know a lot, especially for like a lot of younger entrepreneurs, they tend to not know any of that, right? How to keep the personal business. For instance, like there was a big boom, I want to say post-COVID, like 2022, 2023, there was a big boom of people starting clothing brands, right? And a lot of them, some of them will have like one viral product, and they'll make $20,000, $30,000, whatever, and they'll spend like 75, 80% of that, right? You know, going crazy. then now you don't have any profit to get more inventory.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you don't know how to manage your money correctly.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it's for a lot. I feel like nowadays, younger entrepreneurs are becoming more apparent. Like they're becoming more common. They're starting businesses earlier. So I feel like that information is so key because if you don't know how to manage your money, how are you gonna scale? How can you scale?
Yeah. There are just tendencies in individuals,
Mm.
and young people tend to make financial mistakes.
Mm.
So, what young entrepreneurs need to understand is they need to understand that most young people are bad with money. So, with that being said, you got to put more of an emphasis on that. You know what I mean? So, if younger people are going into business, they need, and this is another topic, right? You know, I became an entrepreneur at probably 25, 26, 25. I still had a job though. I did both. It wasn't until 33 I went 100%. A lot of people, they feel like they know enough at 21 to go out in the world and they don't know nothing. You know, and it's troubling for me because I understand it because it's a generational thing. If you talk about the Gen X and baby boomers, they stayed at jobs 20 years, 30 years, a long time, whatever the case is. Cool. I'm a millennial. I get it. Even me, I bounced around. I wasn't loyal to no job. I bounced around. I still understand the value of
a job.
Working in corporate. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and also learning how to be a professional, learning how to be an adult, learning from other people. You know, I feel like a lot of these young generation, they rely on ChatGPT. You know, a lot of people, like I was talking to a friend, like me, I'm big on education.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm in 3 grad school programs right now, like grad school level program right now, 100%. 3. I go to Duke University for a CFO program. I'm at Rutgers University doing an entrepreneurship program, and I'm also doing my MBA at LSU. Right, I'm big on education. Right, big on it. Like, and he told me that they don't think that education is gonna be valuable in the next 5 years because of Twitch and social media and AI and yada yada yada. People and like this, the university is gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. In my field, you still need education. Like there's a lot of stuff you still need education, and you still need to know how to do stuff. Like I could see maybe a revolution or a change in the style of learning, or maybe they need to revamp the education system on certain stuff to fit the new world. But people still need to learn how to work. Like me going to college taught me how to put in work. I had to sit down, write essays, do certain stuff. So you mean to tell me that's not valuable anymore in the world?
Right.
Like, to put in the grind, you know what I mean?
It's not valuable.
Because some people, cause I understand, bro. You understand. Some people don't come from great families and all that other stuff.
Absolutely.
So some people, they need to go to college and schools to learn how to be a good fucking person. Excuse my language. To be a good person, or to learn how to be a professional. So you got all these young guys skipping school, doing and learning off of. I don't know, bro. Like, I get it. Like, I've been thinking about doing a Twitch myself and doing social media because I feel like I have a lot of good, valuable things to say. But at the same time, man, the world, I'm not saying everybody. Of course, I'm not saying everybody. But the world is going to need educated people.
Absolutely. I think, we're gonna say this one point and then move on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of younger entrepreneurs and just younger adults right now, I think a lot of them are relying on the people that they see as role models, right? The Kai Cenats, whoever's the giants in the clothing brand space. They're giving these gems. They're hosting these lives. They're giving, do this is how you, and they're taking it and running with it. You get what I'm saying? Without, don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong. Maybe you get lucky because some people do get lucky, right? But sometimes the chances of that is to get to that level, that level that everybody really wants to be at, without proper education, proper training, I feel like you said, I feel like it's overlooked. People overlook it, right? And a lot of people aren't seeking education like they used to, because they're hearing rumors, oh, bachelor's degree don't mean this anymore, or this, that, and the fourth. It still means something to you, like experience wise, right? Like it still provides value. It has some value. It does.
You.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I feel about that. I did want to talk about tax write-offs for a little bit, right? Do you think that one? I want to ask, what do you think the major importance is of being knowledgeable about tax write-offs? How important is that to a small entrepreneur or small business or somebody trying to start a business? And then two, what are some tax write-offs that people overlook?
Right. So it's definitely important for you to know your tax write-offs because it lowers your tax liability. Okay, but you just have to understand what are your goals are, right? Like, is your goal to get? It's always going to come down to you want to get funding, you're looking to get money, or are you just looking to save money? That's the biggest thing when it comes to taxes, right? Because if you're paying taxes, right, a substantial amount of taxes, like you're probably trying to get some type of loans or mortgage or business loans, because that's what you need to show. You need to show that you're paying taxes in order to get that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you overdo it on the expenses, you won't get it. So now if you do want to lower your tax liability, it's important to know what tax deductions and use your money in a smart way, as opposed to just, oh yeah, I'm just going to spend my money on this whatever. You can use the tax code to spend money on things to get a write-off, right? So it can lower your tax liability. So as opposed to you spending money in your personal account, right? Use it like to lower your tax liability. So you asked me for some common deductions. Travel is a big one, right? So whenever you travel, for me, whenever I travel, I'm always doing something business related. Like I went to a cannabis event at Atlantic City, business related. I went to Orlando, Irish seminar, business related. New Orleans, Irish seminar, business related. Everything is, a lot of my travel is business related and write-offs. And at the same time, I'm enjoying myself at the same time, right? I'm going to conferences, I'm meeting new people, I'm going out to eat, it's all fun stuff. But at the same time, I'm making sure I'm going at a time in the city, doing things I can't do at home, right? I can't do that cannabis convention in New Jersey. I can't do an IRS seminar in New Jersey. I got to go to those places to go there, So you kill two birds with one stone. So I would just say, think smarter and work smarter and not harder, So that's how I would say that. And that's just an example right there. But definitely you want to look up deductions based off your industry and understand every business is not the same, right? Me in professional services is totally different than a person working in cannabis who's a manufacturer. So like we're gonna have totally different costs, right? So I have travel stuff. Some businesses would probably never have any travel. So
I wanted to ask you, how important is bookkeeping, and what's the best way to stay organized, like not just around tax season?
Bookkeeping, I would just say that just having processes and systems in place.
Mm-hmm.
So while you track your income, your business stuff, all that type of stuff, you want to have processes in place to to put stuff into your income statement, into your QuickBooks and stuff like that. So and just having dates, right? On these particular dates, this is what I do, and this is my system, and just being consistent with it. And the more consistent you with that, the more organized your information is going to be. To wait at the end of the year to organize everything, You're gonna have probably inaccurate information because you're gonna be rushing. So just having systems in place.
So the key word right here is consistency.
Yeah, consistency and having a plan. Having a plan and staying consistent with that plan. You know, and also being able to make adjustments accordingly, because you can have a plan, but if something's not working, or something comes up, you gotta be able to make an adjustment on the fly.
I got a question.
Shoot.
When you're a high level entrepreneur, right, and you have these tax professionals, right,
Mm.
okay. Do we do our due diligence as far as making sure information is correct? Because I know there's some instances out there where they've probably had a untrustworthy accountant or someone like that, and they like kind of, I don't know, like they, they're just like being untrustworthy. How can someone do their due diligence and making sure that doesn't happen?
That's a very good question. Very, very good question. I would say that referral is big, word of mouth, and who you got your referral from. I would say, the best time to look for someone is when you don't need it, right? Because a lot of times, if you're looking for some type of person or something, when you need it, you probably gonna run. How many times you looking for an outfit, right?
Yep.
You go out and find an outfit. I'm trying to find this one thing, and everything on the rack is trash. It's like, oh my god, I can't even buy. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff is trash. I'm rushing, but then the moment you walk in there, you're not even looking to buy nothing. You see this nice jacket. Oh man, this jacket's nice. So same thing with accounting, right? Same thing with an accountant. You don't want to look for an accountant when you need it per se, or in tax season when it's rushing. Because a lot of times the good accountants, they been talking to their people off rip. Like me, I talk to my people. I'm talking to people now. It's September. I talk to my people now. And I'm planning for now. Now, do I take on new clients? Yeah. But you're not going to get that same level of dedication if you're looking for a client during tax season. And actually, a lot of accountants don't even take new clients during tax season. Especially the old heads, the 50, 60, that been doing taxes for like, they don't. If you haven't called them since before, they won't even take you. So I would say if you're a person that you're making more money and you're gonna need an accountant, make the relationship now.
Yep.
And then when you need it, then at least you got somebody.
Yeah.
And you kind of just be transparent. It's just you being honest. Like, hey, you know what? I can't afford a person like yourself right now, but I would need somebody like this in the future. So, maybe we can stay connected, stay in touch. You can let me know, or maybe that accountant can make a referral for you. But I would definitely say, like, if you're in business, you should be tapped into your banker, somebody, financial advisor. You should have somebody that should be able to make a good referral to an accountant, because we all communicate. Like all these people in the industry, I communicate with bankers, I communicate with mortgage people.
Absolutely.
And whenever someone mentions making a referral, they I have a person, I have an account right here. Boom, they make the referral. So
dope.
Definitely.
So, okay, I want to get some game real quick.
All right, shoot, bro. Go ahead.
Let's say I'm watching this right now, and I have aspirations of trying to be an accountant or a tax professional. What's some game that you can give me, and how can I make some steps to get started in this industry?
Yeah, I definitely say you kind of have to figure out what kind of account you want to be. For me, I say that I have a lot of skill sets. I was an auditor for 6 years, and I'm an IRS enrolled agent. Like, if you would ask how many auditors are that have the tax and the audit, it's just like it's very slim to none. So following my path of doing all these things may not be ideal, right? But someone that's starting off, you have to determine, am I going to be doing taxes or what? Like, kind of have a hunch for what you want to do. Because if you want to do individual taxes, you may not have to go to college, You could just become an IRS enrolled agent, right? The IRS enrolled agent, you just need to be 18 years old to take that test. But the way I see it is, I don't know how a person that's not college educated can pass that test. 'Cause it's so rigorous. I feel like you need some type of prerequisite education. But I'm sure there's people that prove me wrong. Just how I made that statement, I'm pretty sure there's probably somebody that didn't, that was just determined, they just took it, whatever the case is. So I would definitely say go to college, at least get an associate's in accounting or a bachelor's in accounting that gets you the basics at a minimum. Now, if you want to get into a big firm, a big four accounting firm like I did, you have to go to a school. You have to go to a 4-year school like Rutgers or something like that, and get a bachelor's degree, and then get into like an audit firm, because they're not gonna hire you unless you have a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
But again, that's if you want to go that route. That's why I said you have to understand, if you want to deal with individual taxes, why would you do all of that if you're not even going to use it?
Exactly.
Right? I'm going to tell you what's more efficient, but at the same time, I don't know what 19-year-old is going to pass an IRS enrolled agent without being college educated.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You touch on education a lot.
Yes.
We touched on education a lot throughout the episode, right? And prior, you mentioned that there was a lot of changes in the tax codes,
Correct.
right, this year. So would you say that in your industry, the education never stops?
It doesn't stop.
Right. You have to.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. And right when you master it, it changes drastically. Like for instance, they changed it in 2018.
Yep.
Right? I started my company in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was Trump stuff. So like you master this stuff for 8 years. I'm like, you in your bag, you doing it 8 years. Whoosh. Change everything.
That's crazy.
Now you gotta revamp. But the thing is, I'm 34. 8-year tax professional. You have some people that are 60, 30-year tax professional. They seen this already. It happened to them 3-4 times in their career already.
Yeah.
Where there's just a drastic change or some crazy wacky stuff. Like the economic downturn when I was in high school then. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on then. I knew nothing about that. Like I have no recollection. I was 16, 17 years old. But they remember it because they were like 40.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So this is my first revamp in the sense of being almost a 10-year professional and then having to relearn all of this stuff. Not all of this stuff, but having to relearn a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's so much. I've always learned every year. It's always changes, but like this is the first like big change. You know?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, because the last big change was when I started, so it wasn't a change for me. It was all new. I didn't have to unlearn nothing. You know, this is the first time I had to unlearn and relearn. You know, so.
I think this is a good pointer. How can somebody maximize their tax refund without doing anything risky?
That's a loaded question. You know, I don't know enough about the person. Are they a business owner? Are they a W-2 employee? Do they own any real estate, rental real estate? You know, it's so many things. You could donate to charity. You know, you could donate to charity. You could start a business, have kids, right? Get the dependent credit. Getting married, right? There's so many things that can change. So I would probably need a scenario to really say it, to really answer that. So yeah.
So I want to ask this too. So, what are some common misconceptions about W-2s that employees should know?
Some common misconceptions. So some common issues that I see, probably a lot of tax professionals see, is that you get people that have multiple jobs throughout the year. I actually had a client. She's a college professor, and she had like 17 W-2s or 15 W-2s. because she does a lot of virtual classes for all these different universities.
Wow.
So she had like a substantial amount of W-2s. And what happens is, if you make $10,000, they're taxing you as if you make $10,000. They don't know you got 17 other W-2s. So in combination, you're in a higher tax bracket. What that does is you end up owing money. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you're a person that's going to have multiple W-2s, or you quit a job and you got a new job, you want to make sure you're filling out your W-4 form correctly. Because if you don't, you could be, you know, all this income's coming from all these different places, not knowing what's going, not knowing, they're not communicating, and you didn't fill out the forms correctly. So now you end up owing money. So, you know, depending on the situation, it could be really bad. It could be $200, or it could be like $10,000. You know what I mean? It just depends on what the math it comes out to. So.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I honestly, it's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I feel like I probably need a reality TV show or something.
Yeah.
Nah, for real. Like, just
No,
to
for
sit
sure.
down, because it's a lot of, first of all, just the people that come in, it's some interesting people, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
there's some phenomenal people out there. You know, I know a lot of people say social media, people hating on them. Listen, there's some a lot of rock stars out here. Trust me, I do the tax, I see it. You know what I mean?
Are
And,
there any myths in your space?
What you mean
like-
myths? What you mean by myths?
Like something
practitioners?
that like something that people or like people push that is not really true, is like
Well, the taxes is all about the refund. It's not. It's about compliance first. You're not filing taxes to get a refund. People, you know, or like they come to me if they owe money. I do the tax return. You know, I still gotta pay you. I mean, yes, you paid me to do the tax return and for tax guidance. I explained everything to the T, and I gave you some tax planning. Hey, that's what you're paying me for. You're not paying me for a refund. If you so happen to get a refund, great, wonderful. But that comes secondary to compliance. Compliance first, refund comes second. But a lot of people, money, you know, yes. But yes, I agree, but compliance first.
I definitely agree with the compliance because I did take a tax course with HR&R block. I prepared my own taxes myself, and I actually owed money myself. So I definitely agree with where you're coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
all right. As we wind down, right? I have one question. What's a piece of advice you would give your younger self starting your entrepreneur journey?
That's a good question. I would say, be patient with yourself, have a plan, and don't do so much. Like, I feel like I was confused on what I wanted to do, so that's why I did so many things. Especially with the referee, I really thought I was gonna be a ref. Like, I really considered being a D1 ref, and I really considered that. But then the more I did it, and I go to the camps, and I look at these guys, and I look at me, I'm like, I'm not like these guys. Like, I just don't see it. Like they are perfect for this. Like, they're perfect for this, and I just wasn't. And it took me time to figure that out. And accounting was so me. Like, it was so me. So I would say that try to pick one thing and just stick to it. And work on your business acumen. One thing, stick to it. I know a lot of people want to be serial entrepreneurs, but what you have to understand is real people that are really in business, they can identify that really quickly. Because you're so passionate about, oh yeah, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. And a person that's really in business will be like, oh, they still in that stage. They're not even gonna tell you. Cause it's gonna awkward. That's what I notice a lot about people. People don't tell you nothing because it makes things awkward. I don't give I don't care. I tell you. But what I notice is when I tell people stuff, it makes things awkward. And I'm like, oh, this is why people don't say anything. They just wait for you to realize it. You know, they wait for you to realize it, and then for you to ask a question. It's kind of like when a dad waits for his son to say, "Hey, I'm ready." you know, I'm ready for you to train me to play basketball. You know what I mean? Like, you have to realize it, you know? So, look, for me, you know, I had to realize, like, if I wanted to be really good at this accounting stuff, how many accountants are refereeing games? How many accountants are doing, you know what I mean? Like, if you're an accountant, be an accountant, bro. You know what I mean? And just be the best accountant you can be. Instead of ref games, do a podcast. Go do a speculative speaking. Do something else that relates to what you got going on. So that's what I would tell my younger self, is just to focus, pick one thing, stick with it, and if you feel like it's not working, you go do something else.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I appreciate you coming on today, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yo,
anytime, man.
Where can people find you, connect with you, and learn more?
No, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. You guys can find me on Instagram, Doche _ task guy. So Doche the task guy. On Instagram, it's Mardochee Louis. On LinkedIn, on Facebook. So yeah, that's where they can find me. I don't know if you could drop what.
I'll put the link.
Drop that. You can drop my email address too.
For sure.
You know, we could drop the. You know, I don't know if you could drop like a little.
Yeah, we'll put everything on the bottom.
Yeah. So my email address, they can email me. So.
Right.
So,
All right. Well, if you had one last gem about business, go.
One last gem about business. You know, you got to be able to sell yourself. You know, I would say the reason why I'm in business today is because I was always a good person my whole life. My whole life. Like, even like without trying, like just being a good friend, being genuine, calling people, making people laugh. People remember that type of stuff. Like, they remember I was a good person. At the same time, people understand my work ethic too. I always was locked in. I was always a class clown, but I was locked in. You know what I mean? I was that kid, finished my math problems, and I'm joking around everybody else because I finished my math problems early. You know what I mean? And I just feel as though if you just control what you can control, be a good person, and do the best that you can, you know, people remember that, those intangibles. And if you're offering a service, they're going to low-likely go to you because they're going to remember those intangibles.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if I chose to be anything, I would have the same clients. 100%, because they believe my work as a person and whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the best way I could.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Just
dope.
be a good person. Just be a good person and work hard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, man. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Value Menu podcast. Yeah, man. Let's do it. That's it.
Yeah, man. God bless.
Yeah.
Those are tasks.
Good stuff.
Appreciate you, man. That was dope.
It's just fun, bro.
Yeah,
That was a nervous night. Normally I'm a little.
Yeah, I feel like I flowed good.